toy culture reviews. We got the goods. Turtle Dad and Kaiju Kid, never misunderstood. How's it going, everybody? This is the Turtle Dad
and Kaiju Kid.
The Kaiju Kid. We're gonna start something new with this channel. We're gonna try see if we can do it a little bit different, and see if maybe we can entertain you guys with some of the stuff that we review or look over. And we're also going to be selling a couple items and kind of go over that as well. So I'm going to try something new for this year, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Starting off, we're going to look at a couple things that we're going to go ahead and be selling. We're going to be selling a couple of items, actually a lot of items this year. So hopefully you guys will follow along, and maybe you'll find something you've been looking for, because we've got quite a few items that I've been holding on to for a few years. So maybe something comes up, and the prices will be reasonable. Let's start looking at the first one's going to be the McFarlane
DC Multiverse.
Yeah, the Flashpoint figure. This is the Batman, or the Thomas Wayne, so Bruce's father figure. This is the one that comes with the two guns. So we're going to go ahead and sell that on, probably we're going to start on eBay and see how that goes. This will be one of the figures up there that we'll be selling, and we'll also be selling we got the NECA Gremlins Ultimate Stripe. So this Ultimate Stripe figure, has the it comes with the skateboard, the chainsaw, and I think and one of the buzz saws or something that he was throwing. Yeah, exactly. So these figures are new in box. We haven't touched them, but as you can see, the boxes have been damaged a little bit, but they're still, they've never been opened. And what's the next one? Hasbro.
Marvel Legends. Peter Parker.
The Peter Parker. So this is the Peter Parker action figure. This is the one where it's just Peter by himself. He's got a separate head that has him showing as half Spider-Man, half Peter. So we'll put this one up as well. You can see that when we purchased it, unfortunately the card back was bent, but again, reasonable prices. We'll put some reasonable prices up there. And then lastly, for right now, we're gonna put up the Optimus Prime Earthwise from the War for Cybertron series. This was pretty cool. It has the trailer and 35 points of articulation, so it's a pretty cool figure. You have one of these.
Yes,
right?
personally, I love the transformation.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. So we'll have that one up on the site as well, and up on eBay, and then we'll see how we do from there. So let's talk toys.
Yes.
So let's start off with one toy that we had ordered a while back. I think like a year ago. Yeah. We saw it online. We loved the pictures. We didn't know what the company. We didn't know what we were getting, but wanted to put in an order. So we said, okay, let's order this. So this is the Fury Toys Samurai Turtle, and it looks like this is the one that we got from. Yeah, this is the one that we ordered.
Spring.
This one is called Spring. It's not Leonardo.
Don't say that.
Yeah, we don't call it Leonardo, but it's called Spring in this series. But it does come with an accessory, or not come with it. You have to pay for the extra accessory kit.
Yeah, so if you get regular without the accessory kit, you get him with no swords, but a scarf, a samurai helmet, a grip hand. You get, I forgot what these are called, but you get these. And then you get kunais, and then I think the coolest part of the whole thing is he has chains.
He actually comes with real chains.
And the chains come with this. These pieces are hard. Let me see. Metal pieces. Okay, so they connect to the chains, and then you can either put them on the kunai or his other weapon.
The other bladed weapon, yeah. So it was pretty cool. It came with an extra set of hands, but it also comes with an extra head.
If you get
the accessory pack, yeah. And so the head was actually Leo's head. So again, he's not Leonardo per se, but a very similar looking type turtle. But this figure is actually really cool because the articulation is awesome, and yes, you can pose him, and he's about the size of the Playmates Ninja Turtles, the ones that came out for the 2012 series. So he kind of goes well with those figures. But we love the detail on this one, and we're hoping that we get the other ones. There's a couple others that are coming out in the future. I know Donnie, I think, is next. Autumn. Sorry, Autumn. And Master, yeah. So we'll see how that all plays out. But hopefully we'll be able to pick up those figures as well. But this one is definitely, if you can find it, this is a great figure to get.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if he has open hands, and the hands, I don't know if they designed it like this, but the hands are big enough to where he can balance on it. So let's see. Sometimes it's hard, so I suggest you use hot water, but be careful with hot water because he has some
fabric.
Yeah, fabric pieces that don't come off like here at the belt. But if you're able to get these on, the right one is okay. There we go. So if you get him balanced right, it takes a little bit, but if you get him to balance, he can
hold up his own weight.
Yeah, hold up his own weight. Let me see.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure that the hand's not loose. To save time, I'll be doing this in the background, and when I get it, I'll tell you.
Alright, so let's move on, and we're going to move on to something that just came in the mail and that I was very excited for. This is the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set for the Secret of the Ooze, and I absolutely love this set. I'm kind of debating on whether I'm actually going to open it or not because it just looks so cool in this this replica VHS case. This is one of my favorite parts of it. It just looks like it's a giant version of the VHS, the old VHS, but these figures look just amazing. And I love the heads. Obviously, everybody knows that the heads were changed out when they did the second movie. They try to make them look a little friendlier. And NECA really captured that on these figures, and they look absolutely just great. Sorry. You had it.
Got him.
There you go.
There you
go. And then I opted to get the accessory kit, which comes with a couple other things that came out of the movie. Tokan Razar, after they reverted back to their regular form, and a couple of other items that the Ninja Turtles had used throughout the movie. So I'm really excited. I'm actually excited for this one. I love this. I'm again, like I said, I'm debating whether I open it, but I'm definitely waiting for the next figure from NECA, which would be the Ernie Reyes figure, Kino figure, that will pair perfectly with these. So I'm looking forward to that.
I was gonna think that if you get Kino, take off his head, take off the Donnie from the first movie he had. There you go, you got Kino in the Donnie suit.
Yeah, because Ernie Reyes Jr. did play Donatello, or at least he was the stunt coordinator or stunt person for Donatello in the first movie. So that would actually be kind of cool. So we don't have any of these other toys, but we can talk about. I think you want to talk about Avatar. What McFarlane is doing?
Yeah, so I got it right. So the McFarlane Avatar figures that I guess they were shrinking down the like human characters were shrinking down in size, and I was kind of a little bit disappointed because I kind of wanted a taller Avatar, like kind of next to Batman, but then I realized then McFarlane couldn't do these cool little machines.
We are experiencing
like
technical difficulties with visual.
Suit, and I think he has more planned. So the smaller the figure, Of course, he's smaller, but at least he has more stuff. If he came with like a regular McFarlane figure, then I could see where you could get mad. But he comes with more stuff to fit his budget of being small. Yeah. The Colonel.
So you can, we have a. You got, what did you get? You got one of the...
A Banshee and
right?
the mech. The amp suit.
Right. So we'll see how that, because the figures look pretty cool. We're hoping that McFarlane comes out with a lot more. Sorry. Hasbro.
Yes. For Transformers. Right?
Yes. Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast. So apparently, just by watching videos, that the Rise of the Beast since the Rise of the Beast movie was moved forward, they were at first they were going to do regular mainline figures, like kind of cheapy one. Not cheapy. They look cool still, but not as movie accurate as Studio Series. Mm-hmm. But they were still going to do them. But since the movie was delayed, they moved them. They moved them to come out the same time Studio Series does. Mm-hmm. And with this, it's kind of your choice, your budget, because they still look fine, even though that they're not as movie accurate if you need them movie accurate, but they're still accurate. And there's two things. Optimus Primal, since he's bigger in this movie, I think I heard that the Studio Series is going to be a Commander class, or bigger in scale. And the mainline figures are going to be Voyager scale. So it's kind of, do you want a bigger Optimus Primal, or do you want him to be sized up with Optimus, kind of his height? So it's kind of your choice with these guys now.
That sounds fun. Like if it's a bigger figure, a bigger Optimus figure, then you can get all that detail. And then I'm sure that if you pose them and stuff, it's gonna look really impressive with Optimus Prime. So that'll be pretty cool. And then NECA's they just showed the next set of Gargoyle figures that they're doing, right?
Yeah, they showed it in a set. So they showed Xanatos, which when they did Goliath, I'm pretty sure NECA's going to do a lot more. So then when I think it was San Diego Comic Con, that's when they showed what are they called? Steel Clan. The Steel Clan, Xanatos when he's in his mech, and Xanatos. And I haven't seen photos yet, but I believe that when they showed April O'Neil for the Ninja Turtles crossover with Universal Monsters, when they were showing the blackout design, they also had another design that looked like Lisa from Gargoyle, so they might be doing her.
Elisa. Is it Lisa or Elisa? Elisa?
Yeah.
Elisa. Something. Yeah, something. Yeah. Elisa, yeah. Elisa or something. Yeah, I think because we both got the Goliath figure. Yeah, so I think if we got the Elisa figures to send, and I'm sure they're gonna do the proportions well, because NECA always does. So I think that would look pretty cool. I'm hoping that we're able to get the other Gargoyles figures just so we can have a whole set of them, because I know that who's the next one?
Lexington. Or Hudson.
Lexington is gonna be my favorite. I like Lexington. Hudson is already out, no? Or he's coming out.
No, he's already out.
He's already out.
No, I know that
Bronx
they're pre-orders.
And Broadway. Yeah.
And
Bronx is the dog. I'm sorry. Broadway is the.
Broadway is the one who eats. What was his name? Oh man, hold on, we're forgetting.
It's Bronx, Broadway. They were all named after cities in New York.
Yes, I'm trying to think of one.
Hudson, because of the Hudson River. Brooklyn. I think I would like this if NECA were to do, if they were to do a motorcycle for Gargoyles for Brooklyn. Yeah. Because that's what he wrote in one of the first episodes. And to have it like an accessory set or something like that. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of. We actually just started rewatching the series. Yeah, it's so good on Disney Plus, right? Yeah. It's so good. Such a good series. So definitely recommend it. Watch it with your kids, or if you are a kid, watch it with your parents because they probably remember it. But if you can get those figures, they look great. I love it with the wingspan open and everything. I love that.
And then I like that they're giving them short wings. At least Goliath, because he has a bigger wingspan. Since he's taller, he's gonna take up the most room with his wingspan. So at least they gave him a cape like Bronx. Yeah. So you kind of need Bronx if you want Goliath to fit, to kind of fit more into your shelf.
Yeah, because it comes with a folded cape. Yeah, or folded wings. So I think we also wanted to talk about Lego. Lego's doing what 20th anniversary of Legos that they've done for Star Wars.
I think so. I thought it was 50th anniversary for Star Wars.
For Star Wars, yeah. But it looks like they called it the 20th anniversary of Star, because they've been doing Star Wars for about 20 years now. 20? Yeah, I think so.
In the 80s?
I don't ever remember a Star Wars set in the 80s. If they did, I don't remember 90s? It. No, I don't remember them doing a set like that. So, but it looks like they're doing a couple of items that are being released, right? Some classic figures from the classic movies, and are being re-released. And
I know that they're doing a TIE bomber.
The TIE bomber is one of the ones that was recently shown. It's actually on Lego's website now. Looks like a great set little figure.
Definitely thicker than the TIE fighter.
Yeah. All right, so let's go on to have you seen what we've seen? We went, was it last week, to go see Avatar?
Yeah,
last week we saw Avatar. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, we may say some things. But we won't talk too much about it. But I will say that I did like it. It is a little over 3 hours, so prepare yourself. You may want to be careful with whatever you're drinking. You may not want to drink too much of it.
Hold everything.
Yeah, it's a long movie, but it's a good movie. And we went to go see it in 3D, and it was just amazing to see all of the water, all the creatures, all the water creatures and everything. It was a great movie. Had a really good story.
Give everybody a quick background story of the kids.
Yeah, of the kids.
They're not really spoiling anything. You see the kids in the trailer. You know they're kids.
So they've had kids, and this story takes place a few years after the last story.
A decade.
Is it a decade?
Yeah,
it's a decade. It's a decade after the last story, and it's good. It's the way that they really build up the family. I mean, it does take 3 hours to kind of build up these individual characters and then unleash them on you, but they do it in such a way that it's done very, very well. I really enjoyed it.
It shows what James Cameron can do. Like,
yes.
With
he knows. Movie. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows the story that he wants to tell, and it's going to be interesting to see how the next stories kind of continue.
He's the director of director or animator for Terminator 2.
No, he was the director for Terminator 2 and Terminator 1.
He already did good work with.
And I believe he developed the stories for those as well. So yeah, if he wasn't the main writer, I think he was developing something. But yeah, he knows how to tell a story. And I know that Avatar is really his baby. So, and I think I read somewhere that said that they were going to be doing about 7 of these movies. So we're just at number 2.
Yeah, they're already shown for the movies that they're going to be in. So they show number 3. They haven't. It shows the A, but no poster yet. And then number 4 is kind of blank. So I think they're still kind of filming more.
Well, I think they did an interview. The main actor did an interview saying that they shot all of the movies at the same time. So they're shooting. They shot parts 2, 3, 4, and I think even 5 at the same time, so they could get all the stories kind of built out. And especially because the kids are supposed to be part of these stories, and the human that are playing them are growing up, so their voices are changing and stuff. So they wanted to make sure they captured all of that. So that
so that way they get that, and then when their voices get older, then they can show the kids older. Because then that'll kind of mess it up for if he has planned for maybe the next movie takes a couple months after. It wouldn't sound right that the kids have a deeper voice after a couple months.
Yeah, so I think that's why they shot all the movies so close to each other. So, but yeah, they're progressing. We saw the other night. We saw on Amazon Prime Samaritan. We saw the Sylvester Stallone movie. As I understand it, he is trying to build like a superhero type world. I don't believe Samaritan is actually based off of any comic book here. I might be wrong, but I don't believe it is. I think it's something that they wrote and they developed, and I think he wanted to build it. I don't know if he's still going to, but we enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I don't know about you. Did you like it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It's a new character.
It was a new character. I kind of liked the story. There's a bit of a twist in there. I won't ruin it. I definitely would recommend it. It's a good movie. You can watch it with your kids. It's a good movie with kids. I think there's some violent scenes, but it's not too bad. It's
not like Terminator 2.
Yeah, it's not like the Terminator movie.
No killing, not that bad.
Not at that level. There is a little bit of violence against children because there's a kid in the story, but it's typically other kids that he's fighting. So, but it was an interesting story, interesting twist, and if we get another one, if he starts to build out this world, it's gonna be interesting.
I know that there's more worlds being built. I guess, I think because of the Marvel success, that it's making a bunch of other companies want to do their own stories, which is cool because then we get more connected stories. Like Avatar's now becoming its own universe now,
right? Because
now there's more movies to it. It's not just one movie now. So far there's 5 announced, 5 we know coming out, and he might do even more than 5.
Yeah.
And if the Samaritan continues on, another universe.
Yep. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. We're moving on to She-Hulk. We finished She-Hulk. I know that we lagged it a bit. We didn't watch them every week as they were coming out. But and I know some people maybe didn't enjoy it as much. I really enjoyed the show. I thought the breaking the fourth wall was great. I loved the actress that was playing She-Hulk was great. I think she was very funny. The show was very well done. I'm so glad that it's not just her running around turning into She-Hulk in every episode and solving everything by crushing everything. But I think it was well done. Personally, I would have liked to have seen some type of mixture of using a human person. I've seen some female bodybuilders that are just so tall and just massive. I think if they would have done a mixture of that with some type of CGI with the face so that it had the actor's same face, I think that would have been really cool. But even so, I really enjoyed this show, and it must have been really expensive to turn it into She-Hulk every time they did. But
they even said then that he said he had to turn back because they're spending more money on another movie.
Yeah.
And it played the Wakanda.
So I'm looking forward to either another season of that, but I would love to see her in an upcoming movie. So I hope they pull her in for some sort of project or something.
I'm starting to think now that what we've been seeing with Marvel now, the new Avengers, I think are going to be the one replacing Hulk would probably be either She-Hulk or Hulk's son. We don't know what's going to happen there. The one replacing Hawkeye is Kate Bishop. The one who's replacing Black Widow's hard because you have her sister, but then now we're kind of confused with her after what happened in Hawkeye. So she may replace Black Widow or somebody else will replace her. Captain America's being replaced by Falcon, and Thor. I think Thor will stay the same unless Jane will take over for him.
But she died, didn't she?
No, didn't you see the credit scene?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And then we do have a
American Chavez.
Oh, that's true. No. I was gonna say we do have an Iron Man. We have. Ironheart, right? So there's always a possibility. That'd be great to see a whole bunch of them come together and
I think the main villain of the first new Avengers movie would probably be Kane the Conqueror, just because I feel like Kane is too big to be killed in like a, not in an Avenger movie, like to be killed like he's in the Ant-Man movie. I think Kane the Conqueror is too big to be killed with like Ant-Man kills him. I think it's more the Avengers should kill him than Ant-Man do it. I'm not saying that Ant-Man's bad. It's just that
I think Ant-Man is probably gonna set it up for Kane the Conqueror to come in. We are still working on Andor, right? We just started Andor. We haven't finished that, and so we
Black Adam.
First. Oh, and we saw Black Adam. Black Adam. I liked it. But I think I was more excited for Black Adam and Shazam, and I know that they were kind of building it up for Black Adam versus Superman, which would have been cool too. But as we know, now that James Gunn has made his announcement, we're not going to be getting any more Black Adam or Superman movies, at least not with Henry Cavill and The Rock.
I mean,
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, I mean they could always play different characters. But we know that Superman's going to be younger now in this version. It's not, because they said that it's not a origin story. So that means then Superman's gonna be a kid in this one. So kind of like what was his name?
Superboy.
Superboy.
Yeah. No, I think they're gonna do. It'll do well. I mean, those characters always do well. I think that it's kind of sad that for so many years all these characters are kind of built up, and then we don't get to see the conclusion of what would have happened, or at least the next part of the story. But at least we got something.
I think if Flashpoint does come out, I think it is coming. No, not Flashpoint. What is it called? The Flash movie.
The Flash movie. I don't think they're calling it Flashpoint.
I think how they're going to do this, because the Flash is still going to be in this universe, and I think they're going to do this. The Flash is going to mess up or something, and it's going to cause the universe that we already know to kind of be disrupted. So then that will explain how Superman that we knew is not Superman no more. Now the Batman we knew is not Batman no more. And now Wonder Woman we knew is not Wonder Woman no more. Yeah. And Black Adam too.
And that, again, that's all fine and dandy, but I just wish that they would have handled that a little bit better. I think giving the fans a way to say goodbye to the characters they've been watching for years, I think would have been a better way of doing it. I think they could have done it in Flashpoint. They could have done something in Flashpoint where you see maybe Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman and Ben Affleck's Batman maybe sacrifice themselves, the Trinity, right? They sacrifice themselves so that the rest of the universe can exist or something, and then we get these newer versions of the characters. At least that way, you know, as an audience, somebody who's been going along with these stories, you get to say goodbye to these people who have played these characters for so long. You've identified these characters with them for so long. You say goodbye to them, and then the new kind of come in. Sort of like what I'm saying, like what we got with Iron Man. In the Marvel movies, we got to say goodbye to Iron Man. We got to say goodbye to Captain America. We got to say goodbye to Thor and Black Widow. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean,
she sacrificed herself.
Right. And you go, okay, well, then there's a sense of closure with that character. Now it feels like it's just kind of going to be lingering and hanging there, but I wish them all the best. I hope that they're able to
I feel like that
to do something with them.
That they for Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, they could always say that they died and never show the scene, or they can film that scene and then get it over with, like you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, give us some sort of closure with these individuals who've played these characters, so that, again, for the fans who have been following along for so long, we get to say goodbye. We get to see a conclusion to their story, and then we kind of see the pickup, with the newer versions of them or something. But oh well.
The Flash movie couldn't be like No Way Home, because, well, he didn't mess up the universe, but now nobody knows who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
But he chose that. But it still kind of changes everything without really killing him.
Yeah. No, well, we'll see. We'll see how they do it. Hopefully, they do a good job. Last one we're gonna talk about is Wakanda Forever. Right? We saw Wakanda Forever a couple weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I love what they did with Namor, Namor's character.
And they didn't kill him off.
And they didn't kill him. Spoilers. And they did not kill him off. So perfect way to set him up for future movies. I like the fact that I don't want to say that he played a bad guy, because he's not really the bad guy. It's
he's
just that
anti-hero like Black Panther.
Yeah, but he wants to do whatever he needs to do to defend his people, to protect his people. And obviously that story, hits home a little bit for us. But the fact that they, one of my favorite parts is the way that they pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman in the beginning of the movie. I'll be honest, there were tears in the beginning of that movie, because it was and again, like I said, closure. Obviously, we're fans, we're not family, so we're not going to go to his funeral. But he was an important person that played an important character in the movies that we watch, in the movies that we dive into, in the movies that we put so much into. And the fact that we were able to say goodbye to him after his passing in this way, I think gave us a great sense of closure, so that we can kind of move on with that character. So I'm looking forward to what they do with Black Panther. I think it's going to be his son who's going to take over, but really cool to see how they did that, and then how they brought in Namor.
A friend of mine said that people wanted to see Black Panther fight Namor. Since Chadwick Boseman's dead, we still have his son. It'll still be the fight, just not Chadwick Boseman. It'll be his son. It's not Black Panther.
Right.
It's not T'Challa. It would be.
Yeah.
Wait, I just realized it's weird, because isn't his son's name T'Challa?
T'Challa, yeah.
So he said that
he's gonna take over.
He's the son of King T'Challa. If he becomes king, then he has to say, "I am King T'Challa, son of King T'Challa."
Okay. Well, we'll see how they do that. Okay, so now nerd books and stuff, games and stuff. Let's talk about that. We don't really have any games to talk about per se at the moment, but I know that you've been reading up on some books, some comic books. That's on
Rulers of the Earth.
Godzilla, Rulers of the Earth. I don't know anything about this one. You're gonna have to talk about this one.
So
this is the Kaiju Kid coming in right now. This is what he knows.
Get your homework ready.
Yeah, this is what he knows.
So it's by IDW, who's taking over for Ninja Turtles right now, and
they have been for years. They've been doing IDW's been doing Ninja Turtles for years. Yeah.
Well, Rulers of the Earth is from a 3 comic book series. So there is, I can't remember the name, but there's a first Godzilla one with a couple comic books, I think 12. Then there's another one with again 12, and then there's this one. And the difference between this one is it has everything from the first part of these comic books in a book. Because Rulers of the Earth has 2 sets. It has 12 comic books for the first part, and then the second part takes place a couple years later, and that is 13 comic books put together in this one. You can buy all of them separate. The only thing is there's a lot of money. When it comes to this, it's like $24 to get all of them. So might as well do that. And I like this because it's and as you see in the cover here, you see Godzilla from Manila. I forgot. We're just gonna call him 2000 Godzilla, meaning with a 90s Godzilla monster and another 90s Godzilla monster, Destroy and Biollante. They would have never met, but in this comic book, they're putting everybody together, even Showa characters like Jet Jaguar. And they were able to put their own characters like these aliens and another type of alien. So they worked a lot of kaiju into one universe. So I like how they're doing that here. And the covers for the books. Let me see if I can find one cover. Yes, I found one cover. I like since again it's comic books. Here would be the cover of comic book 3, but I like the art that they put here. So it just puts
the art's pretty cool because it's something that you don't get to see in the movies. A lot of the artistry that goes into telling these stories, and I know that you love the Godzilla ones. Awesome. Well, so I guess Luke here is saying this is a good one to pick up.
Yeah, you should. I'll tell you this. This one is more about the human characters. There's monster fights, a lot of them, but it's kind of with more human characters. The second one is more monster fights.
So that's the one that we still have to pick up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So next one we have, we just finished up Last Ronin. And so great story. I really love the fact that they kind of kept it secret in the beginning who was the last Ronin, which one of the turtles was the one that was left alive. I loved how they went back and they revisited their deaths and kind of giving the explanation. The fact that we got
We'll just tell you one death. We're not going to tell you who the turtle is, but we'll tell you one. I think one death for me that kind of made it sad is Donnie and Splinter. Because the story is that they went to go make a peace treaty with other members of the Homato clan, and then the foot soldiers attacked them. But it's kind of sad to see Master Splinter die to a sword and Donnie to die to arrows.
Yeah. It was a good story, good impactful story. The end where you have
Mikey versus
where you have this image of all the turtles on the rooftop. Yeah. It reminded me of the last scene from the last episode of the 2012 series. Remember with the Armageddon show or episode where they made it to this like paradise place, and then and then the camera kind of pans up, and it's Splinter, and he's kind of holding the turtles. So it brought that image. So I thought it was a nice way. And then, I won't spoil it completely, but if you haven't read it, there's a part at the end that kind of gives you hope for the future. I won't say why, but it gives you hope for the future. So I don't know. I doubt that we'll ever get that next story, at least not from Kevin Eastman. Maybe somebody else might write it, but that'll be cool to see that story continue for the future. Because so the Last Ronin series, as I understand it, was basically a series that they had thought about when they wrote the original Ninja Turtles. The original Ninja Turtles comic, was them fighting Shredder, and that was pretty much it. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. They never, before they had done the cartoon, before the Ninja Turtles went international, they had the idea of doing this. Okay, what happens to the Turtles' future state? What happens to them one day in the future? And Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird had decided that they were going to write this comic of The Last Ronin, where they explain how the turtles died, one of them's left, and he's got a final mission. And
kill all members left of the Foot Clan.
Yeah. So it was great that it came from the minds of the original creators. I think that's also what made it special. It wasn't just somebody who wrote it. It's somebody who created these characters. It's somebody who had a passion for these characters and who had a love for these characters, and for them to pour that into this story, I think is amazing.
I think, again, another spoiler, that whenever I see Casey and April's daughter, it reminds me of Kate Bishop, but also Hawkeye mixed with Black Widow.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's
there
true.
was a lot. I think, what was it? There's been, I think, four that I know of series where they go back into the future for the Turtles. Number one would be Last Ronin, since it counts first, since they thought of it already. Number 2 would be the last season of the 2012 series. And then number 4 would be Rise of the Ninja Turtles movie. Because I think that one I enjoyed the most, just because they didn't explain a lot to you, so it leaves you to imagination. Another spoiler. Where is Donnie and Raph, and why does Leo have a robot arm? Because it leaves you a lot of mystery of what happened there. And apparently they're getting another movie, and Casey's still from the future, so he can explain to us.
We'll see how that turns out. See, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know why I did that. Okay. So what else we got? Anything else? Anything? Well, Ninja Turtles related. I think the only thing I'm excited for is I think this year we're getting the movie.
We're getting 3 movies, right?
Yeah.
But they're getting split up.
I think we're getting a CGI movie this year. Seth Rogen is doing, and then we are getting they made an announcement that we're going to see another Turtles Forever kind of mashup. Yeah. But it'll probably be like a special that they release on Paramount Plus or something. Whoever owns.
Right now it's Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
I think I would like to see that because the first movie had the cartoon turtles. It had the they count as 2000s turtles, and they had the first ones. And it's kind of funny to me that the first turtles ever are shown, but it's kind of funny how they're shown. Like in the 2012 series, when Donatello and cartoon Donatello from the 80s, when they both go back into another dimension, and they see the first turtles, and I think it's Raph. I forgot who it is. Raph looks at them weird, tries to kill them, and then they disappear. And it's funny how Raph's face looks, because in the comic book that I see for the first Turtles, he's always mad. That's the first time I see him surprised.
Yeah, so there's some exciting stuff coming out for Turtles.
But what I want to see in this movie, can they include him, since he is from the same universe?
Yes. And I know we haven't really gone over it, but they did come out with a 5th turtle in the comics, Jenica, who was a human who mutated, and now she's huh?
She was already a turtle.
No, she was human, and she was fighting with the turtles, and then she was dying, and I think they did like a blood transfer from Leo to her.
That's what they keep saying, that another spoiler for Last Ronin, that Casey and April's daughter is faster and stronger than a regular human.
Right.
Because
she's been mutated a little bit.
Because April and Casey have been around the turtles for so long.
They absorbed some of the mutations.
Yeah, some of the mutations. So when their baby came out, their baby was.
Not this one. Jenica's story is she did actually mutate completely into a turtle because she took in turtle DNA from Leo. So all I want is, at some point, I would like to see them bring that character into one of the movies.
I think they kind of hinted it at Rise of the Ninja Turtles, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because there was this character that everybody was trying to theorize about who this is. That Big Mama, the spider, has these 2 guards. They have kind of turtle shells. They look like Leo and Donnie and Mikey, and then they have comms. So, and they look female. Like, they don't look they don't look as bulky as Leo and Donnie and Mikey, but they're as tall and skinny as them. So, I think it will kind of be a Jenica.
Okay, so maybe they released that for the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Maybe because they are doing another movie, so maybe that'll explain that a little bit more.
And I don't know why it took me so long to realize. I'm like, the turtles are kind of different because they have different weapons. But then I realized the title tells you why they have different weapons. It's how they became the Ninja Turtles that we came to know. Because they have their training weapons, which get ruined, and then they go on to these weapons that were the whole series. And then towards the end, which I think that was my favorite part, that they get their weapons back.
Yeah.
Because in the first episode, they lose their weapons. And in the last episode of season 2, they get their weapons back.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. What about Godzilla? Anything with Godzilla? Any new shows or movies or anything?
It's not Godzilla, but it's still Kaiju. They're announced, and I really want to see it because it's been a while since anything Gamera show or movie related has been announced. They said in 2023 that Gamera is getting his own anime show.
Oh, okay.
So I want to see that because it's been almost 20 years since the last movie came out for Gamera.
Okay.
And I like
Gamera's the turtle looking one, right? Yeah.
That everybody wants Godzilla to fight, and I kind of want that too, because they're both reptiles, and Gamera was, I think I read somewhere that Gamera was inspired by Godzilla. That's why they made Gamera. They've never fought each other legally, like it's you call him Gamera, but there's been fan art with them fighting each other. So I kind of want Legendary, who has the Godzilla rights, to later, because Godzilla doesn't I don't think Toho owns Gamera, because the other monsters like Rodan and Mothra had their own movies, or Rodan had one, Mothra had 3 other ones, but yet she and Rodan are considered Godzilla monsters, but Gamera isn't. So I think that's the only reason why Gamera and Godzilla have never seen each other. So I kind of want to see that. Yeah. And I think if they were to do it again, Legendary's Godzilla are supposed to be more realistic. Like King of the World, it sounds like a snake, looks like one. Yeah. Rodan looks like a vulture. Godzilla looks like a mutated lizard. And so if they were to do a Gamera, he would look like a turtle. And one more. I think, I don't know when it's coming out. I want a season 2 for Godzilla Ultima, because I kind of like the story. That's it came out in 2021, and it was Godzilla. It was about red dust that they had in the ocean, and they had monsters always coming out like a flock of Rodan. So this time Rodan is.
But this is something that you read or you saw, or
no? It's a show.
It's a show, and what?
And it had 13 seasons. It's an anime show, and the story is that they have red dust in the sea.
So where did you see it?
Netflix.
Oh, it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's red dust in the sea, and they keep having monsters come up to land, which is that's like, I think every episode a new monster is shown. So the first one was Rodan, second one was Anguirus, but our first one was Jet Jaguar, and I like Jet Jaguar, and he hasn't been seen in a movie in a while or any show, so the Godzilla Ultima is more based on Jet Jaguar story more than Godzilla, which I'm okay with because we already have Godzilla related things. So now it's time for Jet Jaguar to shine. So I like how they built this story, and toward the credit scene, which gave me a surprise that the guy that they thought was dead is alive, and they found the corpse of, I guess, an old Godzilla, and are now making a Mecha Godzilla. But what I like is it's Mecha Godzilla, but it's different. You see, once you see the head, that you right away think of Showa Mecha Godzilla, which that's what they're going for.
So I only want to see, since Universal seems to own all of these characters, I've said it before, I want to see Pacific Rim Jaegers fighting against monsters, but with Godzilla and King Kong's help. I want all of them in the same movie. To me, they're just building that universe, and I think it's very easy to get them to cross over all these characters. And I would love to see it.
I think this would be a dream to see, is because I know all these characters. I'm starting to watch the first show for Ultraman, but I haven't seen a lot lately. I know there's a new anime show, but I want to see Gamera or Godzilla, King Kong, Gamera.
We are about to experience technical
Power
difficulties
Rangers,
with the audio.
Ultraman, Pacific Rim, all meet up. That would be a dream.